...2024. So exciting. Welcome to the first episode of 2024. I hope your year has been off to a great start. And today I want to help you make the most of 2024. I'm going to be going through just about 7 questions that I think if you were to answer honestly, you would have maybe the best year yet. And that's what we should strive for every year. I remember a story I heard about a young traveler. He was leaving his town and going to a new town, a new city, because there was better promises there. The idea was there were more opportunities, more money to be made, and he was on his way. As he was going, he met an old wise man coming from the city he was heading to, and he said, wait a second, please tell me, what is it like in that city? And the old man looked at him, pondered, and goes, I'll answer your question. But first, tell me what it was like for you in the city that you are coming from. And then the woe is me stories began. The young traveler said, it was a bad city. There were mean people in that city. It was so hard to make a buck. It was frustrating. I didn't like that city at all. And then he looks at the old wise man who he was now expecting to give him some good news. And the old wise man smiled and said, well, the news is the new city you're going to is going to be exactly the same for you, because you are changing cities, but you are not changing, right? The attitude you had in the old city, you're taking it to the new city, and you're going to find the people just as mean. You will find like there are no opportunities, and it will be frustrating for you. If you want a new experience, you need to kind of change how you're approaching life. In like manner, if you are going to have a much better 2024, then you need to be thinking about how you are going to change, because the fact that the years have changed, if you don't change, not much more is going to be different, unfortunately. So, how do we make 2024 our best year yet? We need to answer a few questions. There could be 10, there could be 15 questions, but I came up with 7 that I think will be very useful. The first one is, what brought you joy in 2023? Or, what brings you joy, very simply? For me, as I reflected on this question, I realized that a couple of things bring me a lot of joy. And guess what? It isn't actually making more money. No. The first thing I thought about was spending time with family. That gives me a lot of joy. Catching that moment with my son when we're making eye contact. Stealing that beautiful hug with my wife in the kitchen or somewhere else. Or just hanging out together as a family. Those things, those times bring me a lot of joy, a lot of fulfillment. And so, when you ask yourself what brings you joy, the focus for 2024 is to prioritize it. Carve out time for it. Don't hope that these things are going to happen by chance. So you will think, well, you live with your family, so of course you spend time with them. No, I'm talking about quality time. And quality time, yes, can be hours, or it can be 5 or 10 minutes of quality time, and you get on with your day. Let me give you an example. So there's something my wife and I try to do, and we call it date night. And so, every week or at least every 2 weeks, we want to go out on a date, kind of fall in love with each other again, say what is going well, and just dote on each other. We haven't been too good about that, simply because it's been very busy, and I just into having a newborn baby. And then a few weeks ago, my wife says, why don't we just go on a date? And it sounds extremely simple. We basically said each week we're going to go on a date. It might be a breakfast date. It might be a lunch date. It might be a brunch date. It might be like early evening coffee in a cafe quickly, or it might be a date night. And so you might just need to begin to shift how you are approaching things so that you prioritize what is most important. Another thing that brings me a lot of joy is pouring out into other people. particularly young people, helping them make the most of this early phase of their life just after uni, for example, so that they don't make the mistakes that many other people made. So, first question, what brings you joy? The second question is this, and so important. If you could achieve only one thing in 2024, what will it be? And I know for you high achievers out there, you're already thinking, what? Just one? I have like 10 goals I want to achieve. No. I have like at least 3 goals. No. What is the one most important goal you want to achieve in 2024? And focus on it. Give everything you have to that one goal. Chances are that you will accomplish it quicker because you're focusing on one thing. It's a good book, actually. Focus on the one thing, and then you can move on to something else. I remember a story I heard about Warren Buffett and his pilot. And he went to his pilot who had been working with him for some time. And he said to the pilot, so what are you've been working with me for some time. You're not going to do this forever. What are some of your goals? And his pilot says, okay, I'll write it down. And I think he came up with, about 25 life goals or something along those lines. And then Warren Buffett goes, okay, which of these are the most important? Like break this down into maybe your priority or order. And so he wrote everything down, one being the top priority all the way down to 20 or 25. And Warren Buffett says, okay, now circle the top 5. And he said to him, so what are you going to do in achieving these goals? And he goes, well, I'm going to start working on each of these goals. I'll focus on the top ones first, and as I have some spare time, I will be looking at the other ones. And Warren Buffett goes, all wrong. What you need to do, everything below from six goal all the way down to 25, that is your avoid at all cost list. Don't do anything about those goals. Focus on the top 5, starting with the first one. And after you've achieved those, then you can progress. So for me, 2024, my number one goal that I want to achieve, I want to write my next book. It was a wild journey from infertility to becoming a father of my beautiful son. And so it's a journey I want to capture in a book to help me reflect, but also help other people learn from the journey. So that's my one goal. I would do various other things, but that is my one goal that I'm going to be making every day pay tribute to. And that's what you need to do as well. Make every day pay tribute to your one goal. What's question 3? Question 3 is simply, what is the game changer? What is that area of development that if you improved will have the most dramatic impact on you, your life, your success? The game changer. As an executive coach, I have the privilege of coaching leaders literally around the world. And usually when a new assignment starts, if it's a comprehensive coaching process, we will get some feedback. And then interview people around the leaders' lives, personal, professional, and collate all that feedback in a behavioral interview report. Then with the leader, we begin to see, okay, what's working, what needs to be worked on. And as you would imagine, it's usually a list of development areas that come up. And the leader then goes, oh my God, I need to start working on all of these things now, and I really have to make progress. And I kind of say, wait, hold up. What is the one most important thing? The game changer. If you worked on this one, it would have the biggest impact on you, but it would also even begin to help you improve the other development areas. For me, in 2024, the game changer, do you want to know what it is? I need to exercise consistently, right? No excuses of it being too busy. I need to put my health first. If I sleep right, if I eat right, and very important, if I hit the gym, swim, go for those classes, I know that it's going to give me the energy that I need, because 2024 is a seriously demanding year for me. A number of new things are starting, and I need to ensure that I have the energy for it. What about you? What is that game-changing area? It could be a behavior that I need to work on. I was having an interesting conversation with someone recently, and the topic of procrastination came up. And I was smiling. He said, Uche, procrastination that's for the amateurs. When you say somebody is a procrastinator, that's an amateur term. I am a professional delayer. Like, don't put me in the bucket of the amateur procrastinators. It says, it's not like I'm not doing anything. I plan, I think, and I will think continuously. And before I know it, 3 to 6 months has gone by. So for that person, potentially that will be that game changer. I need to stop planning and talking, and I need to start executing on some of those plans that I have. What is the game changer for you? I know one leader I was working with who had been passed for promotion a couple of times. And the game changer became very clear. The game changer was not doing too many things. Stop having your hands in too many pies and focus on 1 or 2 big areas that will bring about a huge result for your company. And then you are seen as capable for the next level. So that's question 3. What is the game changer? Question 4, I love. Question 4 is, what new experiences must you have in 2024? In life, you need to have fun. It's going to be a drudgery, right? If you don't plan to have new experiences, something that you can anticipate, something you can look forward to. I remember someone said to me, Uche, I want to give you a gift. And I said, what is the gift? He said, well, I'm thinking that we can go on a, plane or helicopter ride, and we can kind of jump out, and obviously we're going to be tied to people, and it's going to be completely safe. I said, maybe in 2027. That's not what I want to do now. But it could be an experience like that. One of the new experiences that gets me invigorated and I'm looking forward to in 2024 is I must visit at least 2 new countries. I've been to a lot of countries, but I want to increase that list. So I'm going to go to at least 2 new countries in 2024. I'm already looking forward to it. Another thing that I want, another new experience I want in 2024 is hiking. I've never really done it. I mean, obviously I've walked around and the like, but going on a hiking trail with a few people, maybe around some historical sites, is something that I'm thinking I would love to do. Get lost, as it were, in the outdoors. That might sound very boring for you, and that is absolutely fine. But the important thing is you asking yourself, what new experiences will get me excited? What exposure do I want to have? In what way do I want to enhance this thing called life? Think about it. Let's go to the 5th question. The 5th question you want to be thinking about in 2024 and answer genuinely is this: what decisions can you pre-decide to save time? You need to be efficient in 2024, right? What decisions can you pre-decide? The simplest example of this would be, for example, the founder of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, who always wears the same color t-shirt. I think, gray or blue or something like that. The same color, doesn't have to think about it when he wakes up in the morning. It's this t-shirt with a pair of jeans, trainers, and we are ready to go. Okay? Sometimes we waste a lot of time when we, for example, wake up in the morning thinking, okay, what am I going to wear to work today? Pre-decide. Let me give you a very good example of pre-decision. For me, I've pre-decided the breaks I'm going to have. I don't have to think about it. It's going to happen. One of the reasons I did this was when I burnt out in 2017. The following couple of years, I realized I am a person that loves to go hard. I love to go hard. I work hard. I push myself. I set goals that are difficult to achieve. That's who I am. I've come to accept who I am. And so how do I ensure that I don't get back to the place of burnout? I call it pre-decision, and I call it automating my rest. Like many people, I drive an automatic car. And when you're driving your automatic car, you don't have to think about changing the gears. That's kind of like what this is for me. I'm sharing this automating your brakes because I think it's a pre-decision you need to have. I think everybody should automate their breaks. So for me, one day a week, I try to take some time. I try to take some time off. It could be 2 half days because sometimes the weekends, are busy. But a day a week, I take some time. Number two, at the end of March, usually the last week in March or the first week in April, I take a week off. Even if I'm just going to be at home, I take a week off. I rest. I recuperate, rejuvenate, go to the spa. I shut down. And when I shut down, I genuinely mean I shut down. I don't check emails. Last couple of times when I went out of town, I literally didn't take my phone. So I couldn't check anything. And then in June, so that's April and June, that's my anniversary weekend. And so that weekend the weekend of the 1st of June, I do a long weekend with my wife. We do something romantic. We try to go away, but have 2 or 3 days with ourselves, right? And then in the summer, in August, I take 2 weeks off. These things are automated. And so by the time I get to October, I take another long weekend. We get to December, it's 2 weeks off, and then we go with the flow again. So for me, I don't have to worry about burnout as much as I did before because my rest is automated. So the question for you is, what are you going to pre-decide, right? Think about each area of your life. Finances, pre-decision around some savings. Holidays, pre-decisions. Your career, some pre-decisions. Another pre-decision that I make is when I travel. Not always possible, but I try to not travel more than twice in a month. That's what I'm hoping I'm able to achieve going into the new year. Okay, what's the next question? And this one is a biggie. What support do you need? 2024 is going to be similar to 2023 in that there are going to be challenges. It might not be the same challenges, but they are going to be challenges. Let's just accept that reality. And so think in advance of the kind of support you as a person need. I find that some people struggle, burn out, get frustrated, throw in the towel because they don't have the relevant support. I have built-in support in my life. So I'll give you an example. There's something that my best friend and I call Nkwobi night. Nkwobi is just a local Nigerian meal that we love. But once a month, as much as we can, we go out, we have a nice meal, some bromance time, and then we usually go and watch a movie. But in that time, iron is sharpening iron. In that time, we are supporting each other. In that time, we're holding each other accountable. Every good coach has a coach. So that's another support I need and I have. I have my own coach. I have my own coaching supervision group where I meet with other coaches and we support each other, right? I have my mentors that I need to speak with, and I pre-arrange those meetings, towards the start of the year. Do you need a therapist, right? Some people call it counseling, some say therapist. It might be the kind of support you need. I was speaking to a mentee of mine, and she said, and one of the most transformational things for me this year was having therapy. And then going into 2024, it's reducing from weekly meetings to once a month, because she doesn't need as much support in that area anymore. And then the final thing is, depending on what your, let's say, career goals are, you might need to have a group of people that are trying to achieve the same goal. So for example, I'm looking to do continue my doctorate, which I've paused for some time now because of life and new baby and all that. And I'm going to be joining a group of people who are doing a doctorate. Some maybe almost done, some restarting like myself. And in that group, I will get the support I need specific to that area of my life. Because it doesn't matter how much I speak to anybody around me about doing a doctorate, if you haven't done one, you really can't figure out how difficult it is. So don't be proud, humble yourself, and ask for help. Okay? The final question, number 7, is action brainstorming. Whenever I do workshops with clients, one of the things we do towards the end of a workshop or during the workshop is action brainstorming. We say, what do you need to stop? What do you need to start? And what do you need to continue? Right? Stop, start, continue. And continue could be do more of something, do less of something. So let me give you, make this practical for you. When it comes to what I need to stop, I was reflecting and I said to myself, Uche, one thing you need to stop when you're going into 2024 is increasingly you have a tendency to see other people's weaknesses in areas that are your strength. And you need to stop it, right? Because everybody has strengths and weaknesses. And I'm talking, quite transparently here, whether it's people you live with or people you work with. Maybe you're like me. You have that tendency where you see somebody's weakness and you focus on it, but you're comparing it to an area that is a strength of yours. And I realized that this is not good for relationships. So I got a post recently from in a WhatsApp group I'm part of, and it was just a Twitter or X, post. And this person said, he asked somebody who had been married for 40 years, and he said, what is the single most important advice you will give to people who are married or want to get married for successful marriage? And he said, focus on what they do well. He said, because the person who you married does a lot of things well, but if all you focus on is what they don't do well, which is usually your strengths, because people complement each other, he says you can easily grow to hate the person that you decided to marry and spend the rest of your life with. I was like, wow, that spoke to me clearly. I was already thinking about stopping along those lines. The second thing, I'm restarting my DBA. As I've been on pause for long enough, and I have to be honest with you, I decided towards the end of the year that I'm not going to do the DBA anymore. Yes, many people knew I was doing it, but it was just so much work, and decided I can do other things with my time. But on reflection, speaking to mentors, praying about it, speaking to my wife, my friends, I realized it's something I should actually do and complete. So that's what I'm starting, and allocating the time required each week to get it done. That means I'm going to have to sacrifice time in business, and that's fine, because I know that I'm paying the price now for gain later on. And then finally, what am I going to continue? The biggest secret to my life, and it's no secret at all, is a daily quiet time. A time where I wake up in the morning, after a shower, I take some time to reflect, to pray, read my Bible, meditate on scripture, read potentially a book, and that usually takes about an hour and a bit. And just continuing to do that, and even doing that more, is critical to my life. So there you have it. 7 questions that if you were to answer genuinely and honestly, will make you have a wonderful, successful, trailblazing 2024. I'm going to run through those questions very quickly. Number 1, what brought you the most joy in 23, or what brings you the most joy? Prioritize it. Carve out time for it every day and regularly. Number 2, if you could achieve only one thing, what would it be? Yes, you can achieve 20 goals in 2024, but what is the one thing that if you were to achieve it, you will be most proud, it will have a significant impact on you, your life, your business, and if you achieve it on time, you can go on to achieve other big goals. Number 3, what is the game changer for you? That area of development that you know if you improve would have the most significant dramatic impact on you and your success. Be honest with yourself. You might need to speak to a few people to think about what that area should be. Get some feedback. Number 4, what new experiences must you have? Right? Have some fun in 2024. Don't hope that you're going to have fun. Plan to have fun. Number 5, what decisions can you pre-decide to save time? It might even be you decide going forward, I'm going to get a bunch of white tees or white shirts, and I'm never going to think about what I'm wearing, tomorrow, for example. So what pre-decisions can you make? Number 6, what support do you need? Be humble. Everybody needs somebody. So think about the support you need and be proactive about getting that support. Of course, don't forget to support other people as well. And finally, number 7, do some action brainstorming. What are you going to stop? What are you going to start? And what are you going to continue? I'm really excited about what 2024 holds for you and me. And I pray that as you go into 2024, it is indeed your best year yet. I hope you get amazing opportunities. I hope great partners come alongside you to help you be all that you can be. Until the next episode, stay blessed. So, if this has been helpful, spread the love. Please subscribe, share it, and add a comment. In fact, ask a question as well. Thank you.